Welcome, Leo and Leo Cross Watchers, to your monthly love reading for May 2023. I do apologize that the big cards are already out. I was shuffling, whoops, and then realized that, I need to record it. Ha ha ha. So we have the Eight of Wands and the Seven of Swords reversed for the relationship situation. And then we're going to get what each of you is thinking, feeling about each other, the relationship, and then actions or intentions towards each other for the month. And then we do have the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So, Leo, of course, thank you for stopping by my channel today. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week and that you're having a good day. So we're looking for what Leo's thinking. Oh. What's Leo feeling right now? Wow. And what are Leo's actions or intentions towards this person? Leo actions. What is going on? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to kind of freak out like that. Or not freak out, but like geek out like that a little bit. So we have the Seven of Swords here. Seven of Swords for you. And then we have the Seven of Wands here. And when I lifted this up, the Seven of Wands is here as well. So there's a lot of synchronicity. I feel like there's something here that it's almost like you may know that there's a lie that's coming down the pipe, and you just kind of don't even want to hear this person speak. You don't want to hear the lie come off of their lips. You know what I mean? It's the energy of like, you may know that something is a certain type of way, or something happened or didn't happen, right? And I feel like here's this person who's almost trying to act like that's, not the case. And it's almost like there's nothing, I almost want to say like there's almost nothing that you have or want to say to this person. Ugh. And what's in there? I feel like this person, okay, and what are their actions or intentions? We have the King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So, I'm kind of already catching an attitude about this, so I'm just letting you know ahead of time that there might be some sass. So, we're going to talk about your person over here first. They have the Three of Cups, Ten of Wands, and Knight of Pentacles reversed. So, it's almost like this person, I feel like they're kind of formulating some sort of plan. They may be, this might be very specific, so it may not resonate for all of you, but it's almost like this person may have cast a spell or had somebody do that. You know what I mean? Like this is not, a reading that kind of this kind of energy doesn't come up all the time. And it's almost like this person wants your energy, whether it's positive or negative. They don't care. They just want it. They just want the focus on them. They just want to be the kind of like center of attention type deal. I just kind of, I kind of don't know where to start, if I'm being totally honest. So you have the Five of Swords reversed, which usually talks about like arguments, defeat, that sort of thing. If it was upright, it would kind of feel like you were the person that was being kind of a jerk. But the fact that it's reversed, it's almost like I'm kind of feeling like you don't want to fight for this anymore. You don't want to argue about it. It's almost like this person, the kind of energy that this person may be somebody that comes in with these BS lies all the time. And I feel like you're in a place where it's like, it's not worth the argument. It's not worth the time. It's not worth the energy. And I feel like it does feel very hurtful from what I'm seeing. I feel like this person is somebody, it's almost like this don't ask, don't tell kind of energy. You know, like if they just don't tell you things, then they're technically not lying, right? From their perspective. Of course, you know, people who are, you know, I don't know how to say that without sounding judgmental. So I'll say it this way. Me, you, and the fence post all know that that's, you know, lying by omission, right? It still is when there's a certain understanding between two people, and that understand, or that kind of like, for example, not saying this is the actual situation, okay? It's just to kind of describe the energy. Let's say, for example, this person has been unfaithful. Again, doesn't mean that they have. But let's say the two of you are in a committed monogamous relationship and they've been unfaithful and they just don't tell you that they've done that, then like, well, they haven't lied to you from their perspective, right? Like, I didn't lie to Leo. I just didn't tell them. And it's like, well, there actually was kind of, maybe you didn't tell this person, like, you can't be unfaithful, right? But it obviously was expected within the context of the relationship, right? So it's not like this person seems to find a way, they seem to find a loophole in their own mind, and if there isn't one there, they're going to make one. I'm going to be honest, I feel like it's not necessarily that they make these loopholes so they can go and do things. I feel like they do things that they know they shouldn't at the time, and then create a loophole afterward. I'm going to get a clarifier for this Seven of Wands here. I'm going to get a clarifier. That's the wrong deck. Hold on. We get a clarifier for these. Whoops. Or a few. So we have the Eight of Cups, Ten of Swords, and Two of Cups, all reversed. So I'm just going to move some of the cards around here. Maybe we'll just push those back a little. Okay. I feel to a certain extent there's a part of your heart, don't be mad at me, that wants to fight for this connection. It's almost like, I don't feel that you are, okay? It just feels like there's some part of your heart that hasn't kind of caught up or hasn't processed everything that's happening. You know what I mean? It just feels like, excuse me, I'm just going to get a Kleenex. I'm not feeling the greatest. Excuse me. It just feels like there's something here that I feel like you put a lot of time and work into this relationship. I feel for some of you that you really defended this person to people that, you know, may not have had the nicest things, or kind of like, oh, I think they're bad news or whatever. And I feel like you really defended them. And it's almost this energy of you wanting to say to this person, or the energy coming from you to them is like, Leo didn't walk away. Leo didn't abandon you. Leo didn't do any of those things. And what did you do? And I'm kind of reminded of that, the scorpion and the frog. I'll just say it really quickly, just in case you haven't heard it before. The scorpion needs to pass over or like across the river. And the frog's been going back and forth. And the frog's like, hey, can I jump on your back and you take me across the river? And the frog's like, why would I do that? You'll sting me and then we'll both drown. And the scorpion's like, well, I can't swim, so why would I do that? And the frog's like, okay. So the scorpion gets on the frog, they start going across the river, and the scorpion stings the frog. And the frog's like, now we're both going, why would you do that? And I'm not saying it's a Scorpio, okay? It's just the actual story. And the scorpion says, like, I can't help it. It's in my nature. And I feel like there seems to be this energy here that, like, obviously you're upset with this person, but I feel like another big part of this is actually that you're angry at yourself. And I feel like it's like you wasted your energy, your time, your resources. I feel like you're somebody that when you get with somebody, you invest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not looking for a fly by night sort of connection, right? You want someone that you can invest in and they invest back, right? You want that, where the two of you are a source of strength for each other. And I feel like you're actually pretty angry at yourself that you didn't walk away sooner, that you didn't admit to yourself what was going on, that you almost like that you let yourself fall in love with them, like all of those, or catch feelings or whatever. It feels like all of those sorts of things are going through your mind. And um, I, okay. Let me ask you a question instead of telling you something. What is that doing for you? And I feel like some of you, your response to that is, well, I'm making sure that I don't make this mistake again. Leo, do you really think you need to browbeat yourself to not do this again? Is that really necessary? I feel for some of you, you may be saying yes, and maybe that's true. But I feel for a lot of you, it actually feels like, it's almost like you may feel like there's certain things that you can't say to this person, not because you're, don't want to get in a confrontation or anything. It actually feels more that it's like there's just no point in explaining, right? Because it's like, it just feels like feels like you would be talking to a brick wall. You know what I mean? It's like you'd have better luck trying to talk a brick wall into growing legs and walking across the street and planting itself somewhere else than you would trying to convince this person. And I feel like this person seems to know how to play with words to get you all twisted up, right? It's almost like, you know how when you're arguing with somebody, you're supposed to fight fair, right? You argue about whatever it is that you're arguing about. You don't pull everything in from everything else. And it's like this person will take one word that you say and they'll flip the argument and make it about this. And then they'll flip the argument from that argument, make it about this, and then this and this. And it's like, and then there's all these little arguments going on, and then they bring it all into one big thing and try to put all the blame on you. And you're like, excuse me, that's not my fault. And it just turns, and it's like, and then they've sucked you in again. Right? So it's like you not engaging with this person in that way. It's kind of like, it feels like that emotion, that energy has to go somewhere. And it's like, you're certainly not going to be subjecting anybody in your circle or anybody that you know to that energy. And if that is the case, which from what I'm seeing it is, may I ask why, if it's not acceptable for you, and I think you know what question I'm going to ask here, if it's not acceptable for you to do that to the people that you love, why is that same consideration not extended to yourself? And I feel like for some of you, it's like, well, I need to be told. And I actually heard for some of you, it's almost like the narrative is like, well, but I deserve that. And like, no, you don't. I don't know who told you that or made you feel that way, but they can go jump in a lake, because that's some bull. Enter expletive here, okay? And I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I feel like some of you may not be in a place where you're able to receive that message. And that's okay. You don't have to be. I'm going to kind of encourage you to, if down the road you're in this place and you hear that, or you kind of like feel that message again, it actually feels like that may be when you're able to kind of drop this one wand and almost kind of like cut your losses, if that makes sense. For some of you, it could just be that you're hearing this down the road and like this makes sense for previously and then you're hearing it now. Anyway, you know what I mean. I hope you do. I also feel like you're being hard on yourself with this energy of like feeling like you're not going to be able to find love. Almost feeling at times that you are unlovable. And what's strange is like, even as I say that, I feel like you know that it's not true. It's almost like the fact that this person actually kind of hates themselves. It's almost like they're putting the self-hate that they have on you. And it's like, and because that kind of hatred for themselves and wanting to kind of fail, because they're putting that energy from them on you, they feel better after interacting with you because they dump it. And you're over here wondering, what did I do wrong? What happened? What's going on, right? So I feel like there's this message that disconnecting from them, even though it may not feel very triumphant, it does feel like that may be the best way to kind of clear your energy from this person. So your current actions and intentions towards this person, we have the Six of Cups with the Seven of Swords. I'm going to be honest. I'm actually feeling like you may be the person with the Seven of Swords. And let me flesh that out a little bit. I don't feel like you're actually stealing anything from anybody. Could have sworn I just heard somebody call my name. Okay. It's just very strange. I thought I was... Anyway, I feel like what you're taking back is yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like you're going to take back yourself, and it's almost like you're going to leave enough behind that they think they've won, but you're actually making out like a bandit, if that makes sense. And I mean like with the parts of yourself that you want to keep. I feel like there may have been some things that you were working on developing when you were around this person, but it's almost like, for some of you, this might sound strange, maybe specific. For some of you, it could be that there was a dish set that you left behind, and it's almost like they're going to think they won because that's behind, but you didn't want that stupid dish set anyway. Right? It's like it would have reminded you of them, and every time you looked at those dishes, you'd be like, oh, that's stupid. Excuse me. So it's just that type of energy. And I feel like what you're about to run smack dab into is something from your past. And like, I'm sorry, it's Mercury retrograde, okay? I don't decide what cards come out. I feel like it feels like kind of what you deserve is a friggin' break here, okay? However, I feel like what you kind of run into is something that was very sweet, very kind, very loving from your past. It's almost this energy of like you get out of this energy, and I feel like because you had to do something that was maybe not how you would normally conduct yourself in order to get out of this situation with as much of yourself intact as possible. I feel like this past energy that seems to resurface, it's a saving grace for you. You know what I mean? It's all of a sudden like you see this person or you see this place and you remember who you are. And you remember that whatever sores you're carrying, it's not where it's at. It's not fulfilling. It's not what's going to give you what you need. You know what I mean? I feel like you kind of remember who you were. It's that energy of like you had to fight a monster here, and in order to fight that monster, it doesn't feel like you were one, but I feel like you were kind of on the verge of flipping into that energy. And I feel like this person may have felt guided to be wherever they are when the two of you run into each other. And it literally feels like you might even walk right into them. Or if it's a place, you'll nearly walk right into the wall, right? And it feels like one of those moments where it's almost like when faced with what life felt like before this person, kind of entered it, it almost feels like it makes you want to burst, like drop to your knees and burst into tears. You know what I mean? It's like tears for the wasted time, tears for the sorrow, tears for the parts of yourself, for the time that you can't get back from this person. Um, I feel like there is also a sense of relief there, right? That it's like in realizing um, who you really are, it's almost like you get why this never worked. You get why it just never clicked. It never quite made sense. It was just always a little bit off. There was always something strange about it. And it's because you were never a person, you never resonated with this person. It could go back to, that kind of spell work that maybe they've done, but whatever it is, I feel like there's this message that they may have been in an energy where they thought they could do anything they wanted, and it's like they certainly took something way too far, and whatever they did to try to manipulate you into not seeing something, well, what do they think they can really hit you in the face with it and expect you not to see it? You know what I mean? Like, excuse me. So I kind of don't even want to read for your person. I just want to be like, they're a real POS and move on. I'm not going to, and I'm sorry if you're a cross-watcher. You probably don't already like me, but that's fine. I feel like with this energy, okay, we're gonna take we're gonna put our empathic hat on today. Whatever this person is doing, it actually feels like they are running terrified that someone is going to see, someone's going to know, someone's going to find out that they're not who they said they were, right? It feels like the kind of person that has to constantly put on a show, that they're this, that they're that they've got it going on. And it's almost like if you came in and faced, and they were like with people, and you came in and kind of faced them or confronted them about something, it's almost like even if there were things that really were difficult for them to hear, kind of broke them a little bit, I feel like they would just have to sit there and act like it's no big deal, right? It almost feels like with this person, it's like there's nowhere that they feel they can be authentic except for a group of people that it's almost like they're people, but when they get together and they're in each other's energy, it's almost like they become this kind of otherworldly thing that I almost want to say that, like, I want to say that isn't activating all that it means to be human. So, I feel like you may not feel this way because of where you're at. Um, it feels like this person just keeps digging themselves further and further into these holes. And it's like, yeah, they keep going further and further into the hole. And I feel like you stop short of that. And with this Knight of Pentacles, it's like this person is kind of barreling towards their own destruction. I'm going to be honest. I feel like it might take some time for something to happen. But it's almost like there seems to be some sort of flag for this person that they know that everything is going to crumble apart. And it's almost like, and they're running around trying to stop it. And I feel like it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like the harder they try to stop things from falling apart, the further it gets from them, right? It's almost like they're trying to close this door, and the faster they run to the door, the faster the door moves. And it's almost like I'm not trying to be mean to this person, but from what I'm hearing, and it's like they've kind of made their bed. They chose that room, and now that room is one that they have to be in. And I'm going to be honest, when everything kind of comes in on them or comes down on them, I would not want to be them. And it almost feels like it's like it isn't something that I would wish on anybody either. And it's I'm not trying to do anything or make you feel any type of way. I'm not saying that it did. It's just it's not about like, oh, let's feel bad for this person. It's whatever they've done, it feels like it's coming back tenfold. If ever you've seen that movie with Nev Campbell, Fairuza Balk, and there's another one I can't quite remember, but they are um, they misuse the magic or the power that they've been blessed with, right? And it doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. And I feel like you kind of want to be part of making sure that it doesn't work out. But I feel like you're also wise enough to know that that's not, like, you want to do that, but wise enough to know that that's not a good idea. Because I kind of feel like anybody that is close enough to this person may kind of experience the reverberations of whatever's going to come down for them. So, Leo, I actually feel like I'm out of breath here. Leo, I think I'll leave it there. If this reading resonated, I don't even know what to say. If it did, I hope it was helpful. I hope that it brought you some clarity and kind of helped you to work through some of this, at least expedite the process. I love you very much, Leo. I hope you have a wonderful month, and we'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.